She was a popular girl in my high school. People clamored to be near her. She led the pack, and wherever she went, the rest followed behind. Until she dated Romeo, and they found out she was pregnant. And quick as a flash or a wink of the eye, they all changed their minds. Will you be there when she wakes up in the night? Will you be there when she faces morning light? She hears you say how much you care. But when she wakes up in the night, will you be there? He was a popular choir director in a suburban congregation until he had what they called moral lapse, and they tossed him out of the place. Now they love to preach forgiveness and reconciliation, but when it came to Mr. Music, there was just no room for grace. Will you be there when he wakes up in the night? Will you be there when he faces morning light? He hears you say how much you care. But when he wakes up in the night, will you be there? Suppose I disappoint you and make a big mistake. Suppose you catch me lying and the trust between us breaks. Will you simply turn your face away, walk off into the night? Or will you refuse to give up on me until you help me find the light? Will you be there when I wake up in the night? Will you be there when I face the morning light? I hear you say how much you care. But when I wake up in the night, when I face the morning light, when nothing's going right, will you be there? Welcome to Will You Be There, Part 2. We have a wonderful lineup today. We have two guests, the first of whom is a wonderful, wonderful spoken word artist who's becoming a very treasured friend, and you'll meet her in a minute. And then our second guest is coming to tell us about a concert, an unusual 12-hour vigil that's taking place on Election Day that I get to be part of. So we'll have both of those guests. Plus we have some wonderful stories that people have written in about Will You Be There? So it's a packed hour. There's lots to get to. But first, a couple of songs. This one, called Looking for a Hero. Speaking of Will You Be There? Been walking down these highways such a long, long time, looking for a hero. It's the obsession of my mind. She may not have much money, she may have no claim to fame. Don't know what she looks like, Don't even know his name. Well, I'm sick and tired of blind men who believe they see the dawn. Sick and tired of hucksters who believe they know the song. Sick and tired of bureaucrats who love the lies they tell. Sick and tired of preachers with religion meant to sell. I'm not looking for a Wonder Woman or a guy who rides on a white horse. Not looking for a legend, 'cause I left that dream behind long, long time ago. I'm just looking for somebody who's gonna dare to do the right, who will walk into the darkness until it gives way to the light. Yeah, looking for a hero, and a hero's hard to find. I've seen a million faces in 10,000 city streets. Guess I'll keep on looking while this pavement stings my feet. Don't know where to find you, but I know I've got to try. So I guess I'll keep on looking, if I look till the day I die. I'm not looking for a Wonder Woman or a guy who rides on a white horse. I'm not looking for a legend, 'cause I left that dream behind, oh, so far behind. Yeah, I'm just looking for somebody who's gonna dare to do the right, who will walk into the darkness until it gives way to the light. Looking for a hero, yes, and a hero's hard to find. Yes, a hero's hard to find. Yes, a hero's hard to find. And a hero's hard to find. This next song was written in the middle 80s when the small church in San Francisco, of which I was a part, was sheltering refugees who had come to the country from Central American countries where their countries were being torn apart. There was war, there was starvation, and there were many illegal aliens at the time in San Francisco, and they were being rounded up and exported back to their countries. Our church set up a shelter for refugees, a place where they could at least sleep at night and perhaps work on trying to get a green card or whatever. And in that shelter, we met dozens of people from Central American countries. I wrote that song back then, and it what goes around comes around. It's amazing how appropriate this song is right now. Make one small adjustment here. Hold on. This is called Song of the Refugee. It goes something like this. I am a stranger here in a strange land. I've left behind me my home and kin. I am an alien, I am unwanted, and there is no one to take me in. Who will attend me? Who will defend me? Who will extend me an open hand? Who'll stand beside me? Who'll walk before me? For I'm a stranger here in your land. Down in my homeland, while you are sleeping, the voice of weeping is never still. Down in my village, place of my childhood, the soldier enters to maim and kill. And in my dreaming, I hear the screaming of those who suffer beneath his hand. Who will stand beside me? Who will walk before me? 'Cause I'm a stranger here in your land. Here in your city, I seek my people who know my sorrow, who know my pain, who speak my language, who love my homeland. And from the ashes we will build again. My heart is burning, my soul is yearning for my returning to my own land. Who will stand beside me? Who will walk before me? 'Cause I'm a stranger here in this land. Okay. One thing that has to be said and gotten out of the way before we go ahead. I need to remind you that this work goes ahead because of you. Your contributions to Interlude Retreats. Remember, I told you Interlude Retreats is a nonprofit. We sponsor retreats every summer for church musicians in their mid-career. This summer we had, I don't know, 70 or 80 folks, maybe 100 altogether in 2 virtual retreats. And we get letters all the time from musicians saying, this retreat really changed my life. We have a wonderful facilitator, Paula D'Arcy, who is a writer, poet, therapist, counselor. But in addition to the retreats, Interlude sends me and my music to tiny, tiny churches, like a little 50-member church in Texas that decided they wanted to do something big for their little town. And so we put together a concert in the Civic Auditorium, and they raised a bunch of money and several hundred pounds of food. Thank you, Jim, for getting that together, Reverend James. You, because you partner with us and because you contribute to Interlude, are a very important part of all this. Interlude is sponsoring all these concerts because I'm not on the road now. There's no going on the road to do concerts, not yet, not for a while. And so all the help that we're getting is coming through Interlude, and you can donate to Interlude Retreats by going on the website, www.interluderetreats.org. We have a $10,000 matching gift, and we're a good way along the way to matching that $10,000. So we look forward to your being our partner. I want to shout out to a couple of partners. Thanks, Evelyn. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Dave and Martha. Lots of other donors that I'll mention in weeks to come. Thank you for all your wonderful help. Thanks, Joanne and Richard. So many people that we'll be mentioning over the next few weeks. Your giving is wonderful, and we appreciate it. Now, I want to introduce a person who is becoming a dear and treasured friend. We met in Sacramento 3 years ago. I was given a commission to compose some music for the Sacramento Master Singers, an almost professional choir. And we were doing a concert really all about community building and changing the world around us. And one of the things we wanted to do was to really highlight the Black Lives Matter movement. And I heard about this wonderful spoken word artist who did this amazing piece of poetry. And I said, would you be willing to let me be the musical water boy, the musical servant for this wonderful piece of poetry? And somebody said yes, and Laura Cook and I met over this piece of poetry. And we pretty much fell in love. It was an amazing confluence. She and my wife Jane and I were together for a couple of times during that season, working in rehearsals and working on the concert, and we've not gotten to be physically in the same place since, and I have missed it. Laura Cook, my friend, are you here?
I am. I'm here.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you.
Same
Are you
here.
doing okay? Are you doing okay in this crazy time?
I'm really blessed. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. I have had a lot of time to heal, to
Uh-huh.
reflect, to go inward, um, and I can't complain.
Yeah. What are the projects you're working on right now?
I am currently working with a group of local artists in Sacramento, um, where COVID relief funding has been given to help local artists who have, you know,
Yeah,
haven't been able to
have
make money
suffered.
because we
Yeah,
can't go anywhere. They can't
that's
do
right.
anything. Um, and so there are multiple artists who are coming together to mentor apprenticeships. And I was given an opportunity to mentor apprenticeships on storytelling, which I have an amazing group of young artists, writers. who I'm tickled pink. Yeah, they're
That's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing some work with children, aren't you?
Well, these artists here are pretty young people.
Okay, these are
The
kids.
ages range from this group is from 18 to, I want to think the oldest is actually in their 30s, which is
Okay,
interesting.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Wow.
And I did used to build curriculum. I kind of pulled back from that a little bit. I was a
Okay.
curriculum builder and build curriculum based on the student population,
Okay.
and we did that through spoken word, hip hop, and social
Mm.
justice.
Mm, 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 mm. You are one of the most spiritual people I know, and I am eager for us to do this first piece.
Yes,
This is called Black Lives Kyrie. Now,
yes,
those of you who are my listeners, you know Kyrie eleison is that wonderful phrase, that Greek phrase actually that found its way into the Mass. Kyrie eleison means Lord have mercy. And
right.
sometimes in the Mass we sing it softly. We sing Kyrie eleison. But I had a music history teacher who said, no, it is meant to be yelled, Kyrie eleison, Lord, have mercy.
Mm,
And so this is our take, Laura and mine together, on our own version of Kyrie. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. My turn first.
Okay.
By the waters of Babylon, we sat down and wept. We sat down and wept. We sat down and wept, and we wept for thee, Zion.
Black lives shattered. Black lives scattered. Black lives stammer. Black lives rattled. Black lives would rather be seen, deemed worthy of the same inalienable rights, leaned so heavily to those who claim this land. You maim, then hand the blame down to the next man. No one ever really rightly reaping responsibility for these necks slashed, heads bashed, them bones smashed against concretes, permanent sleeps, no more dreaming. We're weeping due to loss of breath. We're not breathing. We're screaming due to fear, due to voiceless cries you cannot hear. They taunt us, go back, but you brought us here to this place of needing to face these mirrors, to unions with allies that lift and cheer us. Amalgamation, unification is not a station of hate for us. It is a must to bust through these realities, poverties, beyond finances, dream the epitome of success. We are not the less we have been made to believe. We have risen well past winged beings in trees. And as Maya sings, still we rise, crushing lies. Our lives matter. Check yourself if that triggers. Mad hatters litter the air with insanities. Go figure. Go figure. Go figure.
Somehow I feel like you just have to be quiet after that piece. I'm sorry. Happens to me every
Okay.
time. Every single time. Um, that that moment, Laura, I have to thank you so, so deeply for that moment. It comes back to me time and time and time again.
I agree.
You have another wonderful piece. We have many, many people from many different faith backgrounds who
Right.
watch and listen to this program. And some people would claim they are not from a particular faith background, but they're spiritual people. They're people who want to be spiritually alive. And
Right.
when I read this next piece, I thought, my word, this is the bringing together of so many of these faith traditions, the God of many names, if you will. And I'd love for you to read this wonderful. Tell us about it, what it's called. Tell us about it, and then I want a chance to sing a little bit after you read. Are you ready for that?
Yeah. Yeah. I am.
Okay, all right.
um, this piece is called "And I Call You My Sugar." Sugar is actually an acronym for me. Um, there are so many names that I call the Most High, and I so S represents source or spirit. U represents universe. G represents God, and A represents ancestors. And I felt like it was a befitting name because even when I'm not on my track properly, um, the way that I get redirected back is always to a sweet space. And so sugar is befitting, and I call you my
Yes,
sugar.
yes. Go for it.
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Hold on. Wrong setting. Go.
I see you. When I look at you, I see the heart that moved the hands, that moved the sands, that formed woman and man. I hear the sound that forms the words that speak to life, the light. Let there be. I touch and am touched by the very vivid vibration of the pulse of your life force, which is source, which does course our veins. powerful giftings attained, hidden in plain sight. Abba, Elohim, Yahweh, Allah, God, love. I see you beyond this earthenware, and I give thanks for sight. Adieu.
This is love's lovely world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and round me rings the music of the spheres. This is love's lovely world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees and skies and seas. Love's hands the wonders wrought. This is love's lovely world. The birds their carols raise, the lily white, the morning light declare their Maker's praise. This is love's lovely world. Love shines in all that's fair. In the rustling grass I hear love pass. Love speaks to me everywhere. This is love's lovely world. Oh, let me not forget that, oh, the wrong seems oft so strong. Love is our teacher yet. This is love's lovely world. Why should my heart be sad? Let creatures sing, let the heavens ring. Love's presence makes me glad. The sun on my face in the morning, birds' wings beating nearby, somewhere in the quiet of the first light, I hear a newborn baby cry. Life is a song, my child. Raise your voice and sing, my child. Join in the symphony of praise. The touch of sand on my running feet, the ocean roaring nearby. above the noise of the surf and the seagulls. I still can hear that baby cry. Life is a song, my child. Raise your voice and sing, my child. Join in the symphony of praise. Hallelujah, sings the mighty mountain. Hallelujah, sings the roaring thunder. Hallelujah, sings the roaring windstorm. Hallelujah. A wonder child, a wonder child, a wonder child is born. Touch of a hand on my shoulder. The gentle sound of springtime rain. The sun that shines in the morning. Gentle sleep to ease my pain. Life is a song, my child. Raise your voice and sing, my child. Join in the symphony of
Bravo.
Oh, Laura.
That's beautiful.
Ah,
Ah,
you and I make a good team. We should do this more often.
I agree.
It was wonderful to have you here. Any last words you want to say to our folks?
Oh my goodness. Love.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Laura. We have some wonderful stories coming up. So I want you to hang around backstage and take a
Yes.
listen. Thanks
Thank
for being
you.
here.
Bye-bye.
Three wonderful Will You Be There stories will be read by Sonya and then Beverly, Vander, Molen, and then Sonya again. And after those stories, I'll do my best to try to make a little bit of music. These are beautiful stories that have come in. Let me, before we talk about these stories, let me mention to you next week. Listen hard. By the way, I think if all has worked right, we are on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously today, which is really, really cool. Because in past months, we've only been getting on YouTube like 3 days later. So we're on YouTube simultaneously. Next week, this coming Sunday is All Saints Sunday. Those of you who are Episcopalians and Catholics and Methodists and some other folks know about All Saints Sunday. We're doing a program next week called Saints and Mentors. And it's dedicated to those people in our lives whose ideas, whose thoughts, whose words, whose lifestyle, whose relationship to the world and to justice and whatever have changed our own minds. I think, for example, of those saints whose writings we've read, St. Francis and all the other saints whose writings we have read. I think, for example, of other people who are not listed in the catalog of saints, but I think of people like Martin Luther King and John Lewis, people who have changed our minds about things, who raised our consciousness. I have a whole bunch of people for me who are saints. My first piano teacher, who taught me so much more than music. I'll tell you about her. There are some other people who literally changed my mind, made me rethink things by being my teacher. If there's a great teacher in your life that you want to celebrate, somebody who woke you up, who made you conscious, who made you think about stuff you hadn't thought about before, who ripped into your comfort zone and smashed it, and then set you on a new path. Those are the kind of folks we're talking about. And if you've got stories about people like that in your life, we'd love to hear them. Next Thursday, Saints and Mentors. Now, 3 beautiful, beautiful stories, and I'll play some background music while you hear these stories, and then we'll see if we can design a piece of music around it. I keep having to make this little adjustment here, folks. Got to fix that next week. Okay, Sonya, you're reading the first story.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
So this first story is by Mary Negley. And she said, "My friend Sandy showed up for me when my hair was falling out due to chemotherapy. When I shared that I was going to have my husband shave my head, she said, 'Okay, I'll come over and we'll do it together.' I thought she meant she would do the deed on my head, but no. She brought her husband and he shaved her head too. Real friendship, genuine solidarity."
Jennifer Hornbuckle wrote, "That day in 2006, when I went to the ophthalmologist for the first time for a vision problem and was diagnosed with chronic angular glaucoma, my pressure was so high I needed emergency laser surgery that night. I called my friend Donna and could not even put into words what was happening. She left a family gathering to come to be with me, take me to her home for the night, and let me weep. There are many times she has been there, and I'm also so appreciative of the ophthalmologist who stayed late to perform my surgery."
From Cindy Sue. "During this COVID period, all my music therapy jobs were closed because I worked at a school and at health facilities. Without income, a couple from my church gifted me financially 3 times. My church where I play the piano also continued to pay my salary when we weren't meeting yet. This was before Zoom had arrived. Now I've had open heart surgery, and my friend is taking care of me in her home. I am blessed. During my 6-month internship, an elderly couple I met at church camp invited me to stay at their home in an expensive city when I had no time to work. God is amazing."
Whatever shall I do? Wherever shall I go? All my support, all my foundation is gone now, and my hair as well. I liked my hair. It's one of those things that tells you who you are. job. I'm on my own. Can't go home to mama. Facing this alone. And there you were, knocking on my door. In your hands, there was a razor, not just for my head, but also for yours. In your hands was an invitation, all written in gold. Come and stay at my place. Nobody should be alone out here in the cold. In your hands was the cash I needed to see me through this hard time. You were there when I needed you. I don't know how to thank you enough. I cannot find the words. And if I try to say it right, it sounds so puny and absurd. So please just know that this, my heart, is full of thanks to you for all you are and all you've been and all you do. Thanks to you. I don't know what's in the chat today. There usually are lots of comments in the chat. And every week after the concert's over, we read comments in the chat. Because I want to know what you are thinking, how you're feeling about this work. And what music is meaningful to you, and what you would like to see happen, what you'd like to see different. I'd love to get some ideas about themes for future concerts. Next week is Saints and Mentors, and I'll tell you about the concerts after that next week. But also, I would love for you to become a partner with us in Interlude. Any donation is more than gratefully accepted. We have some people who have donated in the thousands, and we have some people who donate $5, $4, and $3 a month. And I am grateful for every single one. Because what matters to me is not just the money. What matters is the thought and the prayers. Yeah, we need the funds, sure. But what matters so much is the prayers and the funds. The prayers and the help and the hope. I got distracted because there was a burglar alarm sounding out in somebody's car out there. What matters so much is the prayers and the hope and the thoughts and the spirit behind your desire to work with us. So interluderetreats.org is the place to go, and we'd love to see some partnership. My friend Brian Hehn has, in the last few years, become the director of a rather exciting new, what do we call it? Adventure, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's call it the Center for Congregational Song. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
The Center for Congregational Song is a part of the Hymn Society of in the U.S. and Canada.
That's right,
Hymn
yeah.
Society for a long time has been, kind of. But that's changing. Key of G.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to finish it?
No.
ahead.
I was just interested in seeing what key you were playing it. Because we should add an amen.
Yes,
You know,
we need
just-
to have the amen at the end. But the Hymn Society is changing. And the Center
Yeah.
for Congregational Song is an exciting part of that adventure.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is bringing all kinds of new music, new texts, new textures into this work of hymn making.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. I've gotten to do some stuff with the Center for Congregational Song, and I tell you what,
Yeah.
it rings my bells. And we're doing a very exciting project on election night, mind you.
Yeah.
So, Brian, I want you to tell me about the concert that we're doing. It's gonna last 12 hours on election night. Tell me a little bit about what is gonna happen. Tell me a little bit, my friend, about election night. C sharp.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I figure everyone's really, really tired of talking about politics. We've done all we can do. Please vote. But after you vote, what are we gonna do? Just wait and wait and wait and wait. So why not sing? Take it, Ken. Why not sing?
Why not sing? Why not sing all together? Why not sing songs of comfort? Why not sing songs of rest?
So
Brian.
we'll have Reverend Amy Butler. That's better. Give us our opening invocation. Then we'll have students from various campus ministries. Then pianists from Dallas, Chicago, Nacimiento will play some hymn improvisations with me. And then we'll hear from Tom Trini in Nebraska. And then we'll celebrate the hymns of the Black Church. Then we'll sing paperless music with music that makes community. And on and on, and on and on. Until 8 p.m. when Ken joins us. And who knows what happens then. That's my best Ken Medema impression. That's as good as I can do.
That's pretty good, Brian. Pretty good. This is a 12-hour vigil,
Yeah.
and the way that you get to it, the link will be on our program here. If you go to thehymnsociety.org,
Yeah, congregationalsong.org.
congregationalsong.org.
The Hymn Society site, it'll be on there as well. We'll kind of splash it in as many places as we can.
Okay.
And it'll just be a YouTube link. So it'll be streamed live on YouTube. It'll be a mixture of live and pre-recorded content. A lot of students from campus ministries have sent in videos, so we'll feature them. But some live sections will be like with Ken. You know, he's just going to take it away like Ken does. Music from, Tony Alonso just got nominated for a Latin Grammy for his new Cuban American album. This is an amazing album if you haven't heard it, so we'll feature some of his music. Aaron Strumpel, who's in Nashville, singer-songwriter. CC Sunchild. Ken, you can talk about CC Sunchild.
She is one of the most exciting young talents.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to go to her album premiere, and her music is so incredibly sophisticated. And so I wanted to say, Janelle Monáe, move over, because it's really the level of musicality and sophistication in her stuff is just amazing. So
And it's just
I
so
look forward-
joy filled.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing her too.
Yeah, it just lifts up anyone who hears it. And so it's just going to be 12 hours. I'm calling it, at this point, I'm calling it a mosaic, because not even every hour, every 10 or 20 minutes, there's just going to be something different coming at us. And what I hope it does is it helps us celebrate everything that God gets to hear every week. And it gives us a little bit of a vision of what God gets to sing or hear us sing to God. And through that mechanism, just for a few moments, rest in God.
Yep.
And because there's going to be work to do after Election Day. And we've all been working hard before Election Day. So on that day, after we voted, we need a chance to breathe. And so that's what this is.
So, my friends, you know now, tune in and tune in, turn on, but don't drop out. It'll be a pleasure. But our time is almost up. I want to sing just a little tiny bit of music before we end. Thank you, Brian, so much. I look forward to the show, and we'll see you in a few days.
Thanks, Ken.
Well, I've seen the white sand beaches near the town where I was born. I've seen the springtime forests fresh and green. I've walked along the highway by the fields of standing corn. I've breathed the mountain air so fresh and clean. But I've been in other places where it's hard to breathe the air, and the high-rise nightmare blocks the morning sun. Little ones play in dirty streets, and no one seems to care. America's children, look what we have done. I've seen the dauntless pilgrims who came from foreign shores and braved the raging peril of the sea. I've seen them suffer hardship. I've seen them risk their lives in war in order that a people might be free. But I've seen how greed and carelessness can wipe that dream away and create a living nightmare in its stead. Oh, rise up, children, dream again. It's time for us to say. Some may scoff, the dreamers are not dead. Are not dead. The dreamers are not dead. I see America through the eyes of love. I long for all her children to be free. And if you see, put your hand to the job. There is work that must be done till freedom's song is sung and freedom's bell is rung. Till freedom's song is sung from sea to shining sea, from sea to shining sea, from sea to shining sea. Good night. See you next week. Teachers and mentors, send me stories. Bye-bye.